All right, guys, we're back. So I got some of this pigsty cleaned up. A little bit better. Might not look bad. Oh, look at Mopey Joe. Gunner, you all wet, buddy? You staying dry? You look soaked. You look soaked. What's going on? You look at the camera. Man, it is so gross outside. I have a pond out back. It's not supposed to be there. We've got so much rain, it won't go away. But anywho, okay, so what are we gonna work on? Let's see. I don't really work on this because I don't have parts yet. I could stick the cover back on, I guess. What I really need to do is do something on this pump, and I need to start tearing this thing down because I'd like to have this all cleaned, at least get the carb out and get it cleaned in the ultrasonic cleaner. So I need to turn the ultrasonic cleaner on and get it warming up, and I guess that's what we'll do. All right, so what do we have to do? Looks like we got to pull a couple bolts off, get the side cover off. Just got some grommets on there. All right, looks pretty straightforward. I'll set you guys up in the other camera you can watch. Look at the inside of this. Let me get a light. This thing hasn't been run in a while. It actually runs fine, but you can see some of that old gas residue. It's kind of like that brownish bronze color. That's kind of a sign that it's been sitting. But this actually runs fine. He complained that he got out to his field. I guess he has some property. He got out to his field and it would idle, but it wouldn't rev up. The second he hit the throttle, did anything with the throttle, it died right out. So I figured he had the main jet plugged. However, when he brought it here, pulled it off the trailer, it was such a bear to push. I said, well, let's just see if we can crank it up. So I pulled the choke out and just held the choke while I was running it. And then it's been running fine since. It does have a little bit of a hiccup here and there. That's why I'm going ahead and still doing the carb clean. He says it sits for extended periods of time because I guess they have two properties. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and check the gas, make sure the gas is not got a bunch of crud in it. Maybe even flush the gas out, but definitely go through and clean the carb, make sure all that stuff is where it needs to be. So that's what we're doing. Got to get these clamps off. The set of pliers that's really cool are these here. They've got the grooves in the ends of them to be able to hook onto the clamps. These are really nice, but you can't always fit them in there. I'll tell you what I want to get. I need to get some, instead of using these to pull off, I use these for the clamps. Because of the angle, I can get in there and open some of the clamps up. I want to get a pair of fuel line pliers so you can actually squeeze onto the fuel line. They're those curved ones. It's got the like the circled jaws on it, so you can actually grip the fuel line and rotate it around rather than like tearing a hole in the side of it. Okay, so now we have the choke. Man, this comes off a lot easier than I anticipated. I had a 2003 Polaris Magnum 325. I had it several years ago, and it was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't like a horrible four-wheeler. I had to rebuild the bearings in the transmission because the guy I got it from sunk it in a pond, and it was like the transmission fluid was just like gray sludge. So rather than going through Polaris, I went through a bearing distributor that we had in Knoxville and just told them the part numbers on the bearings. They got me better bearings than what came out of it. There was some of those bearings in the Polaris transmissions were China bearings, and I went up like 2 stages of quality and got some regular USA bearings. Anyways, they wanted like $320 for all the bearings in the transmission, and I ended up getting all the bearings for $90, and I got better bearings. So keep that in mind if you're trying to save some money. Save money, but you actually have better quality. How often does that happen? Okay, so we got throttle cable coming in the top. Looks like we got to pull this off, take the little side cover off. Okay, carb's out. We'll turn her sideways. Try to make as big of a mess as we can. Got a little side plate on it here we'll pull off and disconnect the throttle linkage. So we'll just take the, I've got 2 screws out. I got this one, we'll take the other 2 out. This comes where your throttle comes in. This one here is your choke. This little thing here is the idle speed adjustment screw, which you can just reach in there, raise your idle up or down. All I really needed from what I normally do is just get a bowl gasket for these, but sometimes they don't sell just a bowl gasket. You buy the whole kit. In the case of our place over here, which I'm fine with. I can sleep better at night knowing that everything is done right. Okay. So there's the inside of that. We should be able to pull that pin out there. All right, somebody's not holding their mouth right. All right, that is out. So it had a little piece on there. It's got a tiny hole in it where the cable goes in. The little brass piece or whatever, lead piece on the end of the cable hooks into it. All right, now we can take our cable out, which is a screw adjustment. Take the rubber boot up, we'll unscrew it here. Throttle cable's out, now we got the choke. The idea is to remember how all this goes back together. Man, I've got these ratchet wrenches. I mean, I've had these for like years. How in the world did people used to have regular wrenches? It would take forever to get anything done with a regular box wrench. I mean, I've still got sets because there's times when you need them, but man, ratchet wrenches are so much faster. Between ratchet wrenches and those little DeWalt impact drills, stuff goes so much quicker. So what do you do when you don't have a special tool? Well, I would like to know that it is for sure a 12 millimeter. Screwed the wrong piece. I unscrewed the adjuster. I need to get the big nut out. But how do you get it out when you can't put a wrench in there because there's not enough room? It's hitting the top and bottom. So then you need a socket, and I'm sure they have a tool for this, but the socket that's got a slit down the side of it to slip it over this, and then it would slide on and you could loosen it that way. So what I'm thinking is sacrificing my 12 millimeter, and we'll just put it in the vise. We'll rip a slit down the side of it with a My only concern is the thing gonna fit in the gap. I really don't want to cut it all the way up, but I might have to. I think I'm going to have to cut it all the way out. A little rough. I may have to drill out that square. We'll see. Oh, perfect. Like a glove. Could grind some square spots in it so I could hook a wrench onto it. Look at that. It actually goes all the way up on it. There you go. Cool. Quick and easy tool. So we'll pull the bowl off, we'll look inside, and we'll start disassembling. Let me get the, man, I gotta stop saying Sorry guys, I say a lot. So, all right, here's before. We'll stick it in there, get it cleaning, get it tore down, and you guys can see an after. All right, so let's get this turned on here. So kick this button on so the heater is running. It's probably gonna mess up my microphone when it kicks on. That some of this sediment would be bouncing around in this float bowl, and if I'd sent it home, that he was just going to come back with the same problem. So we've got a couple different ports or jets. We got the main jet here. We got an idle jet down into there. Not an idle jet, but a pilot jet, and some type of jet there that does not come out. But, we'll take these two out, pull the pin out, try to take off what we can. There's a diaphragm up here. This is one of those vacuum carbs. Slide. And one way that you kind of check it is raise it up and let it down. It should kind of let down slowly. That'll kind of let you know you got any leaks or holes up in the diaphragm. We'll pull the top off too. Just be careful with this float because the float does have a setting on it. You don't want to just set it on the table. This out here. So in the center of this one has got this long one, and the long one's got holes all down the sides. So we want to make sure we get those clean. I don't know if you guys heard the buzzing. You might still be hearing the buzzing. That is the ultrasonic cleaner. It like interferes with the microphone. So that whole last carburetor shot scene is probably going to drive some of you crazy. So I may try to edit it and throw some music over it or something so the buzzing doesn't just drive you guys crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and stop videoing because it's just going to make static through the whole rest of the video. And we'll pick it back up where we left off. I really don't like sticking stuff in there that I'm not sure how it's going to do. So anyways, we'll play it safe. We'll keep the float out. There is the seat. It's removable. I don't know. They may give me a new one in the kit. I'm sure they will. So this one's going back in. It's already looking better. Check it out. It's kicked off. I got it already out. Check this out. Is that not look like it's brand spanking new? I love this ultrasonic cleaner. Like totally clean as a whistle. So anyways, compared to what it was, actually here's a shot, because I actually forgot to put the bowl in here. This is hot too. Here's the bowl. Actually, this has been sitting in there for about 3 minutes, so it's gonna get a little cleaner. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is filthy. So we're pretty much at a stopping point with this, guys. I've got to get the carb kit for this. They said it should come in tomorrow. And tomorrow, I don't know what time. They're supposed to call me. And then we can get this put back together, get the four-wheeler finished. We don't need to change the oil or anything like that. I actually need to check the oil though. My only concern was if it's sitting for a long period of time, I'd hate for like the float needle to get stuck in it and then it just pours gas straight into the oil. So I do need to check the oil on it, but I don't think he's got that problem. The float lever and everything was moving quite freely when I pulled it out. So we'll put it back together. We'll double check the float height, make sure that it's all where it needs to be, and move on to this one tomorrow. So this one's got to be finished. Tomorrow would be good to get it finished, I guess. Maybe I got to deliver it. I don't know if they're going to come pick it up or if I've got to deliver it. I got to talk to them. They delivered it, but they live a long ways away. So that is it for today, guys. And anyways, yeah, we'll check back in tomorrow and see how things are going and go from there. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys.